Portable Power Station. Now I saw this on eBay for spares or repair, and I think I paid £33 for it plus postage. It was advertised as charging but then not switching on. I think they retail on Amazon for about £100, so let's get it out of the box and let's have a look at it. Apparently it said it's only been used a couple of times and it looks in fairly good condition. Right, let's have a look. Right, I've got a little charging adapter there. Input and output. Right, let's see if we can put 12 volts or so into it then. I'll hook it up with the bench power supply. One moment please. And resume. Right, I've got the bench power supply set at 13.8 at 2 amps. So right, well, it looks like it's charging. Oh, that went up rather quick. Right, I'm going to leave this for a few moments. We'll see what happens when it fully charges and then we'll come back to it. Well, it's still charging. It's drawn 1.57 amps now, and according to this it's taking in 19.6 watts. Right, we'll leave it a little bit more then. Right, so it's just finished charging. It's not taking any more current now, and it says it's not taking on the bench power supply either, so I'm going to switch the bench power supply off now. There we go. Right, so it's fully charged. Let's see if it switches on then. And that'll be a no. Right. There's a little light on the back there. Over an AC button there. Apart from that's not clicking. That one's clicking. That one's not. And that one is. But apart from that, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Let's get the USB tester and we'll see if there's anything coming out the USB ports. Right, let's plug this in. Right, nothing out of there. Let's try the next one. Nope. Right, looks like we've got to take it apart then. So, looks like we have about 10 screws on the back, so I'm going to start by removing those. So this is a SINKEU or SINKEU Portable Power Station. And it says 27,000 milliamp hours. So it must have a little inverter in here because it's got a little 240 volt outlet there. So we might hook the scope up if we can get it working, and we'll see what kind of output we get on the AC. Right. Let's see what we've got in here then. Let's have a look. Looks like we've got a little light board there. So yeah, just unplug this a second. There we go. And this must be the inverter. And the battery doesn't look very straight. It almost looks like one of these battery packs out of a tool or whatever, a bit like a Milwaukee one. But why is it not working? Put that back on there. Well, I can't see anything obvious at the moment. Right, I think I'll remove this battery pack here. Right, there's this battery pack. It looks like it just unplugs. Let's see if we can get that out. Looks like it's held in with a couple of screws here. It's a bit of a weird angle, this battery pack. Let's have a little thermistor in there as well. Tell you what, I'll unplug that. There we go. Yeah, I'm just looking at the angle of the battery pack here. Then we'll unplug this fan as well. That's it. Right, let's zoom down a little bit. Just notice those wires look a bit squashed against the front there. Well, the button seems to be clicking now. Well, still not very good though. Let's unplug this. At least everything comes apart quite nicely. Right, so looks like we've got 4 screws hold this little board in, so I'm going to take that out. We do have a 2.5? 25. So we do have a 25 amp fuse there, one of those automotive type ones. So I shall test that in a moment as well. Looks like we've got 3 small MOSFETs on the back there, so I wonder if that's for the charging or over discharge protection or whatever maybe. Because it looks like those go to this battery connector here. Let's just zoom down a little bit more, see if we can see any numbers on these chips. A TL494. I think that's an op amp. And we've got another one here as well. And so they're probably for measuring current, I would guess, with the resistors next to them. 7812, that's a 12 volt regulator. Can't quite make out that chip there. Let's have a look again. So BM3452. Battery management, possibly. And that looks about it on this. There's not really a lot to it. This must be the output for the inverter. Or the output transistors for the inverter, sorry. I don't know how many watts it is, but I can't see it being a lot. Right, I'll get that bit out of the way. And looks like we've got 4 more screws, 2 here and 2 here, so let's take those out. That one goes to the LCD, so I'll disconnect that one. Right, so it looks like we've probably got a couple of buck converters here to buck the voltage down from 12 volt to 5 volt for the USB sockets. And these are the inputs here. Looks like we've got a couple of MOSFETs. And I guess that's the main microcontroller that runs the thing here. Let's see if we can see what number that is. The GXY FC20LV. I've not heard of one of those before. Let's see if I get that in focus again. Looks like an SP1239EF that they're using for the power supplies for the USBs. I can't see any blown components or anything. Looks like we've got a small voltage regulator maybe there. This will probably be for the supply for the microcontroller. Well, that looks about it really. Let's just zoom out a fraction. Must have a display driver chip there as well. Let's see what that is. A TM4K-AF and that looks about it. So why isn't it working? I think I'll plug everything back together and then we'll just try and do some measurements, see if we can see what voltages go where. So I can't see any obvious signs of damage anywhere. I can't see any blown components or anything. So I'm just going to screw this board back in for now. I'll just zoom out a fraction. I'll just pop these screws back in. At least that button's clicking now. Right, let's pop this back in now. Right, well, that wasn't the one for there. I've got that the wrong way around, that's why. Right, that one went there. Where did that LED one go though? Oh, that went to the LED at the back, didn't it? Right. That's for the light. Right, I think that'll do for testing once I get this other screw in. Right, let's hook this battery up. Let's get rid of that bit of silicon there. There we go. It's nice the way that the battery plugs in. A little bit impressed with that. I thought it would just be soldered on or something like a lot of these products are. Nice. Right, so still nothing. So I don't have any power. Let's check that fuse. I'm going to disconnect the battery again. We'll just check that fuse just in case that's got anything to do with it. Well, the fuse is intact. Let's just see if we've got any voltage in these cells. I would have thought so, because it appeared to be charging. So I'm going to volts DC. Yeah, 12.42 in those. Tell you what, let's just plug some power back into it again. Because I've disconnected the battery, I just wondered if we've triggered any kind of cell protection or something. Because it currently thinks the battery's flat again for some reason. Right, that'll do for now. Oh. Well, I don't know what we've done, but we seem to have made it work, I think. That's a bit weird. Tell you what, let's just try this USB. Yeah, that's working now. $5 volts on the USB tester. Let's just try the other port. Yep, 5.13. So why has it just suddenly started working? I wonder if we get anything on the AC side. Let's see, AC 0 watts. No, I'll switch that on. And this is the AC output just here. So 1 volts AC. Let's just see if we get anything on there. Yeah, 230 volts. So why is it suddenly sprung to life? That's the question. Let's just switch it off a second. So all we've done is taken it apart. Right, hold on a sec. I'll just pop these screws back in. And I think I might have found the problem, or what the problem was. Let's pop these 2 screws in a second. Because on the listing it said that the device worked initially, but then it stopped working. So I'm just wondering. Right, if I lift this battery pack up, you know those wires that were crushed at the front? Well, if you force this up a little bit like that, that button no longer clicks. So I hold that button down to simulate what the batteries are doing. Yeah, it won't switch on now. If I let go of that button, it switches on. Yeah, it seems to be doing it every time now. If I hold the AC button down, so I'm just wondering whether this is being dropped. Those batteries have dislodged, gone at a sort of an angle, and have been pressing against this front display. I think that's what the problem's been. As like I say, those batteries, if you look at them, those should be, I would think, sort of flat like that, not like that. And even in the case here, let's just have a look. I would have thought there should have been a bit of plastic all the way across here or something to stop them from lifting up. So I think that's what the problem's been with this. I don't think it's been an electrical problem, I think it's these batteries. So I wonder if we can angle these down a bit and maybe put something underneath just to stop that from happening. I see we've got a bit of plastic or something I can shove under here just to try and keep them from going back over. So I've got a couple of these little battery tops which are protection for PP3 batteries that go on my Rode microphone. So I put two of those just on top of each other and we'll see if that'll slip in just to keep that battery at the right angle. Well, that looks better. It's still not quite perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was. Let's see if I can poke that down a bit. That's better. Let's see if the light works, and we'll plug something in the output as well. We'll just double check that the output works. Right, does the light work? Oh, yes. Oh, it's a bit severe. So we've got on, strobe. I guess that's an SOS, yeah. And then off. Right, okay. Well, I was hoping it was going to be a bit of a more interesting fault than this, but it is what it is, I suppose. At least it was a nice easy one, which makes a change. Let's see if that goes back together now. And the casing actually fits a lot better because it seemed to be quite springy. It sort of sprung apart a little bit when I took it apart, so that kind of makes sense if that battery was pressing against the case. Alright, let's see if it switches on still. Yes. Right, I shall go and get something to plug into it so we can test the AC output and we can test the USBs. Right, I've got my little USB UV curing light. So let's plug that in. There we go. It says 3 watts or 3.3 watts. And the USB meter's saying 0.6 of an amp at 5 volts. Right, let's try the other USB. Yeah, that one's working as well. Right, I'll try the USB-C. Yeah, that seems to be working as well. Right, tell you what I'll do, I'll hook the scope up and we'll try the mains output. We'll see what kind of waveform we'll get on that next. Right, so I've got it all hooked up to the scope now. So let's switch it on and see what the waveform looks like. So that looks very much like the waveform I got on that Sterling modified sine wave inverter. It looks more like a kind of square wave with a bit of a pause in the middle, doesn't it? Yeah, it's more like a square wave, there's just a bit of no voltage in the middle. I suppose it's roughly the kind of shape of a sine wave if you kind of squint a bit. Right, okay, so that seems to be working. Let's try putting a load on it and we'll see what that looks like. Right, so for a load test I've got a little 12 volt power adapter here. It's got a little indicator light on. Because these things are only really meant for powering something like a laptop charger or whatever. I don't know exactly what wattage output they give out, but I can't really see it being a huge amount. I think it's about 300 watts or something I remember seeing, but I could be wrong. Right, let's switch this on. Let's see if we get the light on the pack. Yes. Right, do we get 12 volts out of this then? Let's just double check that. I'll get my probes on there somehow. There we go, 12.24. So, in theory what we can do is plug this into the 12 volt input, and now it'll just run forever. I'm only joking, of course, because we've got losses in this adapter, there's losses in here, and you know, everything would just eventually just run flat. But it's quite funny how it's actually charging itself via its inverter and via a charger. I thought it would be amusing just to try that. So yeah, it's actually charging itself from itself. So yeah, right, I think we'll leave it there then. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, please subscribe. Any comments or questions, please leave it in the comment section below. And as always, have a great day. Thanks for watching.